Now we need to create the second player's car. Doing this is easy. We're going to copy the first car and then change the color and change some of the code. So over in the sprite area, you're going to click on the red car. If you right click on it, you should get the menu for duplicate. It will make something called red car 2. The first thing we're going to do is change the name of red car 2 to blue car. Then if you go over to costumes, we are going to change the color of the car. So I'm going to make the fill color of this light blue. It's already there. I'm on my paint bucket tool. Click in the circle, it's light blue. You, of course, can make your car whatever color you actually want, but just make sure the cars are different colors. Oops, I did not mean to click there. I want to click inside where the red is, and now my red car is now a blue car. The next thing we need to do is change a few things in the code. So I'm going to go over to the code. What we want to find is wherever it has the coordinates of go to negative 40y, we want to change this to just regular 40. This will let the cars line up next to each other and not on top of each other. So under the when I receive setup, instead of minus 40, we just want it to go to 40. And then it appears again in the define spin. So it's basically when I receive setup, change go to X to 40, and then down to where the function you created define spin, change that to 40. The other thing we need to change is define the car controls, because you can't have both cars be controlled by the same keys. That won't make sense. So what we're going to do is instead of WASD, we're going to change the car controls to the right arrow keys. So the first one is going to be the right arrow key. It'll change. Then key A is going to be changed to the left arrow key. Then key W will be changed to the up arrow key. And finally, key S will be changed to the down arrow key. So now we have them moving in the way that we want to. We need to add some code to both the red and the blue cars. So if the cars bump into each other, they can bounce off of each other. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the red car. And it is under the check collisions that we are going to add a block to. So we're going to go to control and we're going to add a new if then block right here. And what this block is going to do, it's going to create a message, and we're going to create a message bounce. So the new code will make the red car move away from the blue car when it receives this message. So what this is going to be is if the red car is touching the blue car. So we have to go to sensing and find the touching block. So if it is touching the blue car, then we want to broadcast the message bounce. Remember, broadcasts are under events. So we're going to broadcast and we want it to call it bounce. So we're going to make a new message bounce. So I will type bounce in here. Now we've made the message, we have to tell it what to do when you get the message bounce. So once under events, we're going to pick when I receive the message bounce. We want to point towards the direction of the blue car. So up to motions, we're going to find point towards and make it blue car. We want to turn, and this is the bouncing action. So this is going to turn it 180 degrees, which will turn it around. We want it to move 10 steps. That's going to be like the bouncing away from it. We want it to move 20 steps. And then we want it to go back so it's pointing in the right direction to start driving again. So after it moves the steps, the last thing we want it to do, sorry if I can get that there, is the point in the direction of 0. So it's heading up. So since we did that to the red car, we also need to do that to the blue car. So here we have under check collisions, we're going to go to control. if then, but instead of touching the blue car this time, because this is on the blue car, we're telling it when it is going to be touching the red car, when it's touching the red car, we want it to broadcast bounce. And then we have to create the bounce algorithm. So when it receives the bounce, what do we want it to do? We want it to point towards the red car, just like we had the red car pointing towards the blue car. Then we will have it turn the 180 degrees, so it turns around. And then here will be the bouncing part, also help it bounce, that it's going to move 20 steps. And when it's done doing that, we want it to point in the direction of 0, so it is ready to start rolling. And now you have your 2 cars ready to drive. You can click on the red flag, test it out, see what happens.